This evening, teachers' union threatens strike as salary talks stall. Negotiations between the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Teachers Union collapsed over disagreements regarding the time frame of salary increases. Security guard murdered during supermarket robbery. Police are investigating the fatal shooting of a security guard during an armed robbery in West Demerara. Georgetown mayor orders halt the construction of five-star hotel project. Land ownership dispute halts construction of a Qatari-funded hotel project. Man charged with murder of wife. Melroy remanded to prison after allegedly stabbing his wife to death during an argument. Haitian Prime Minister to resign. Ariel Henry announces resignation amid gang violence in the capital. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for March 12, 2024. I'm Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, talks between the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Teachers Union hit a deadlock today as disagreements arose regarding the period of salary increases to be examined, leading to the collapse of negotiations. The Ministry of Education remains steadfast in its stance that negotiations on salary matters will commence from this year onwards. However, the Ghana Teachers Union insists on addressing salary increases from 2019 to 2023, as outlined in their multi-year proposal submitted in 2020. The Ghana Teachers Union proposed a 25% salary increase for 2019 and 20% for each subsequent year up to 2023. Conversely, the Education Ministry indicated its willingness to offer salary increases solely for 2024. In a press conference held earlier today, the Ghana Teachers Union President, Dr. Mark Light, expressed the union's dissatisfaction with the ministry's position. Dr. Light announced the Ghana Teachers Union intention to advise teachers on the next steps, emphasizing the union's refusal to be coerced. He warned that failure to reach a resolution could result in a nationwide strike by teachers, plunging the nation into further turmoil. In a statement issued last Thursday evening, the Ministry of Education reiterated its stance that negotiations will begin only in 2024. However, discrepancies arise as the minutes of the meeting signed by both parties indicate that Tuesday's talks were intended to include discussions on the Ghana Teachers Union's 2019 to 2023 proposals. With negotiations at an impasse, tension between the Ghana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education remains high, raising concerns over the potential disruption to the education sector and the welfare of teachers across the country. Turning our attention to West Coast Demerara, where authorities are unraveling the details of a daring incident that ended in tragedy. Dale Jarvis brings us the latest development on the alleged murder of a sheriff security guard during a brazen robbery at a local supermarket.
Police are currently investigating a tragic incident involving the alleged murder of Paul Waterman, a security guard employed by Sheriff Security Service. The incident occurred on Monday, March 11, 2024, around 3 p.m. at People's Supermarket located at Lot F New Road, Reading Hoop, West Coast, Demerara. According to reports, 3 identifiable males, 2 of whom were armed with handguns, entered the supermarket while it was open for business. Waterman, who was on duty and armed with a .32 Taurus pistol, was held at gunpoint along with the supermarket's proprietor and his wife. The suspects proceeded to rob them of cash, Digicel and GT&T phone cards, a cell phone, and a DVR. During the robbery, a scuffle broke out between Waterman and one of the suspects, resulting in the discharge of a firearm that fatally wounded Waterman. The suspects fled the scene, escaping with their loot by running north through Evergreen Street towards Best Village. Waterman was rushed to the West Demerara Regional Hospital but was pronounced dead upon arrival. Police officials visited the scene where they recovered a .32 spent shell. Investigations into the incident are ongoing as law enforcement authorities work to apprehend the suspects responsible for this heinous crime. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. In other news, 24-year-old Melroy appeared in court on Friday to face charges for allegedly murdering his wife, Nikisha Sutton, at their Perico home on the east bank of Essequibo last week. The Lenora Magistrates Court heard that LaRose is accused of fatally stabbing Sutton during an argument on March 4, 2024. He was remanded to prison and is scheduled for another court appearance on March 28, 2024. Reports suggest that LaRose, allegedly under the influence of alcohol, engaged in a heated altercation with Sutton, which escalated into a physical confrontation. After a scuffle, LaRose reportedly stabbed Sutton in the neck with a broken bottle. She was pronounced dead on arrival at the Lenora Hospital. Following a post-mortem examination, Dr. Nihal Singh determined the cause of death to be a stab wound to the neck. LaRose was apprehended by police in Samari after fleeing the scene. Stick around when we return. Georgetown City Council issues cease order amid land ownership disputes, and Deputy Commissioner applauds female officers' progress at the Women Law Enforcement Summit.
Experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
See clearly with the gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common Smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. The Engineering Department of the Georgetown Mayor and City Council has taken action by issuing a cease order on the fence surrounding a Carafesta Avenue property earmarked for a five-star hotel project by Qatari investors. This move follows a directive from Mayor Alfred Mentor amid ongoing disputes over land ownership between the central government and City Hall. The controversy stems from conflicting claims over the ownership of land previously designated for recreational use, now slated for sale to foreign investors. Despite threats of legal action from the Georgetown municipality to resolve the matter, ownership dispute persists. At a recent council meeting, Mayor Mentor reiterated the need for a cease order to halt construction activities until ownership issues are resolved. City engineer Colvorn Venture, responsible for issuing the order, reported to the council that no work was underway when he visited the site, complicating the issuance of the notice. Mayor Mentor emphasized the importance of enforcing regulations regardless of land ownership disputes and signaled potential legal action if the matter remains unresolved. As tension between City Hall and the central government escalates, the fate of the disputed land hanging in the balance, with litigations looming as a likely outcome. On a different note, the Ministry of Public Works would like to inform the general public of the following activities along the Linden-Lethem Road. Roadworks are currently being done on the first 25 kilometers of the Linden-Lethem Road, commencing from Linden, Four Corners. Sections of the road within the area are paved with signs indicating where there are detours and speed bumps. Drivers are asked to adhere to the posted speed limits within the construction zone. There are 13 bridges under construction between Mabura Hill and Karapukuri and 45 bridges between Karapukuri and Lethem. All active construction sites have warning and detour signs. All other bridges are open to traffic. The ministry recently installed 48 signs along the corridor indicating turns, narrow bridges, and speed humps. Direction signs at major intersections are also erected for informational purposes. Moving on, Deputy Commissioner Calvin Brutus has lauded the progress of female law enforcement officers during the recently concluded Women in Law Enforcement Summit in Georgetown. He emphasized their strength and dedication to citizen safety. The summit, a collaboration between the Guyana Police Force, Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Women's Chamber of Commerce, aims to advance women in law enforcement under the theme Inspiring Inclusion. Brutus highlighted the unrepresentation of women in leadership roles and discussed strategies to address this, including combating unconscious bias and providing leadership training. He also emphasized the importance of leveraging technology to empower women officers. The Deputy Commissioner urged women to use the summit as a platform to advocate for change and showcase their leadership potential. Don't go away after the break. India implements anti-Muslim 2019 citizenship law weeks before election. And China's Congress concludes with unity behind Xi's national vision.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. The Prime Minister of Haiti, Ariel Henry, is to resign. He's been in Puerto Rico since last week after gang leaders dominating the capital warned him against returning to Port-au-Prince. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bull reports.
After days of violence and warnings, the return home of Prime Minister Ariel Henry would trigger a civil war, came a resignation announcement.
After the Council of Ministers accepted to put into place a transitional presidential council, the members of the council will be picked after agreement with different sectors of the national life. The government I'm running will remove itself immediately after the establishment of said council.
The announcement followed emergency talks in Jamaica with Caribbean leaders from the CARICOM regional organization. Also there was America's top diplomat. The U.S. Secretary of State pledged an additional $100 million for a UN-backed force to stabilize Haiti.
We support the plan to create a broad-based, inclusive, independent presidential college that would, in particular, first take concrete steps to meet the immediate needs of the Haitian people. Second, enable the swift deployment of the multinational security support mission.
Jimmy Cherisier, known as Barbecue, is the leader of the G9 Gang Federation, which is one of the groups that has taken over the streets of Port-au-Prince. Cherisier says he wants to transform Haiti for good, which is why he's threatening hotel owners in the capital for sheltering politicians close to Ariel Henry.
We don't want to give you lies. We're not in a peaceful revolution. We're making a bloody revolution in the country because this system is an apartheid system, a wicked system. Woe betide anyone who hides a politician who collaborates with Ariel Henry in their hotels.
Anger and frustration marked the 3 years of Ariel Henry's tenure as Haiti's leader. Henry rose to power in 2021, weeks after President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated by a group of mercenaries. Henry took control of the government amidst a crippling economy and spiraling violence. In 2023, more than 4,000 Haitians were killed and another 3,000 kidnapped. In 2022, Henry survived an assassination attempt during a ceremony marking Haiti's independence. Some investigators believe Henry was involved in the assassination of Jovenel Moïse, which only added fuel to the turmoil on the streets. In the past year, the gangs became even more powerful, and Henry requested international assistance to help the police and security forces stop their battle to take over. Henry traveled to Kenya to sign a cooperation agreement to deploy 1,000 elite police officers as part of a UN multinational security support team, but he was not allowed to return home.
Many Haitians considered Ariel Henry an illegitimate leader because he was not elected, and many were hoping for him to resign. But even though he did not enjoy the support of the population, he did have the support of the United States and other countries, until now.
Ariel Henry's resignation facilitates a transition in Haiti, but the chaos is ongoing. Half of the population is suffering from acute hunger, and hundreds of thousands have been forced from their homes because of the violence warfare that has taken over their country. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Santo Domingo.
Internationally, India's government is going ahead with the implementation of a citizenship law weeks before the general elections. It's 5 years since the legislation first caused controversy when it was passed in Parliament. The law makes it easier for religious minorities from neighboring countries to become Indian citizens, but excludes Muslims. Al Jazeera's Nihad Al-Abini reports.
Singing and dancing, but also accompanied by protests. The Narendra Modi government is implementing a controversial citizenship law weeks before general elections as the Prime Minister bids for a third term. The Citizenship Amendment Act offers refuge to minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, but excludes Muslims. Legal scholars say excluding a religious group violates India's secular constitution.
This was a long-standing demand. I want to thank Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Party President Jagat Prakash Nadar for providing assistance to our brothers who have come from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan.
Although passed in 2019, rules for the law were not drawn up for years in the aftermath of nationwide protests. In 2020, dozens of people, mostly Muslims, were killed in the capital, New Delhi, during days of rioting. And rights groups say the law, coupled with the proposed National Register of Citizens, could target Muslims in border states. Opposition politicians are accusing the government of pursuing a polarizing Hindu nationalist agenda.
Now, on the eve of elections, why suddenly this government declares it is decided to implement CAA, the rules are being framed? Nothing but to divide the people, create tension among the people at the time of elections.
but authorities insist it's about aiding the persecuted.
We are really happy and we thank the Modi government and the citizens of this country. We have been here for 14 years. Some have been here for 12, 11 or 15 years. Our prayers have been answered after 15 years.
Since Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister in 2014, attacks and hate speech against Muslims have gone up. With elections coming up, the opposition says the implementation of the citizenship law is a strategic maneuver by the governing BJP to consolidate votes. Nihat Al-Abedi, Al Jazeera.
Finally, Chinese leaders have closed their annual parliament in Beijing by enacting a whole slew of new laws to boost economic confidence and tighten national security. It follows months of disappointing growth and simmering tensions with the United States and its allies. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu reports.
China's annual National People's Congress closed in Beijing with a call to unity in the face of a challenging and uncertain future. The 3,000-strong parliament passed several laws, including a law strengthening the power of the Communist Party, with President Xi Jinping at its center. Among his priorities, safeguarding China's interests.
We formulated a food security law, made revisions to the counter-espionage law to fight against infiltration and subversion, and revised the state secret protection law.
The emphasis on national security comes as Beijing's ties with Washington remain strained. Officials say the U.S. is obsessed with its suppression.
The list of unilateral sanctions is ever expanding, and fabricated accusations have reached an unimaginably absurd level.
China's response to these sanctions, a repeated call for more self-reliance and innovation in cutting-edge technologies.
There's a lot of uncertainty. They're turning inward. They're saying, we're not going to be able to solve our problems by relying on others. The U.S. isn't coming to our rescue.
China's slowing economic growth, also front and center, acknowledged with the problems of rising unemployment and a beleaguered housing sector.
Housing prices that are seriously insolvent and have lost their operating ability should be allowed to go bankrupt or be restructured.
The government did its best to boost weak business and consumer confidence, announcing an ambitious GDP target of around 5% for 2024, but provided few details on how this would be achieved.
There were no surprises at this year's Congress except the axing of the Premier's press conference. Since 1988, China's number 2 has ended the annual parliament by facing the press. From this year onwards, however, only one man will hold the limelight, President Xi Jinping. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.